Hi, welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. I'm your host, Brian Koval. Before we get started, make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. If you want to see me play your favorite deck or your spicy brew on the channel, I take donation deck lists. I'll do a deck tech, play a full Magic Online League, and help tune your list. If that sounds good, check out my contact info. It's in the video description below. Now let's go play some Magic.
Hello and welcome to another BoshNRoll video. Today I'm playing Vintage and I'm doing something that you have never seen on the channel before, and that is because I fundamentally hate it, and that's shops. Mishra's Workshop. Add 3 colorless mana, spend this mana only to cast artifacts. So this card is a Black Lotus that you can tap every turn if you choose to build your deck with exclusively artifacts in it, which has been part of the Vintage format for as long as Vintage has existed. I don't really like this style of deck. Like, I want to cast Ancestral Recall, I want to cast Force of Will, I want to interact, but this is powerful whether I like it or not. It's part of the Vintage format whether I like it or not. So I'm gonna swallow my personal biases and I'm gonna try this deck because it is good and I've never featured it on the channel before. So this particular build I've gone with, there's a bunch of different things you can do with the workshop shell. Ravager Shops is one thing that's sort of an aggro deck. You're trying to get over the finish line with Arcbound Ravager and Walking Ballista quickly. There's the full stacks, using the card Smokestack to make your opponent sack all their permanents over time, and then you win that way. This one is kind of in the middle. This is Golos Shops. Golos is a newer card. It's been printed in the last year and a half, I guess. 5 mana for a 3/5. When it enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a land, put it onto the battlefield, tapped, then shuffle your library. So unless you have all 5 Moxen in play, you're not going to activate Golos' second ability. Like, there's no Cascading Cataracts in this list. This is just a 5 mana rampant growth for a utility land. And as such, Tolarian Academy makes lots of mana. Tabernacle can stabilize a board, especially if you've been pressuring their lands with Strip Mine and Wasteland. Karakas can answer Legends. You can do a 2-step chain to basically tutor for any card in your deck with Golos for Inventor's Fair, and Inventor's Fair for the artifact you like. Ultimately, this is kind of closer to the Stacks deck than it is to the Ravager Shops deck. You're not really attacking quickly here. You are pinching your opponent's outs off one at a time until they are out of options. And then you just beat down with your 3/5 for the most part. Sideboard is full of things you'd expect, I guess. In a Karn sideboard, there is no Mycosynth Lattice, and that's because you don't need it in Vintage. The other artifacts are so hateful and so powerful that that's really just win more. And it costs a lot, so Wormcoil Engine can stabilize a board, Ensnaring Bridge can stabilize a board, Null Rod can shut down Paradoxical Outcomes' entire mana base. Defense Grid, that can make sure that your spells resolve. And we would board this in against, I imagine, like Xerox. Make sure that we get to do what we want. Grafdigger's Cage can turn off Oath and Dredge. So a bunch of graveyard hate and then some Karn stuff. And that's the deck. This isn't particularly difficult to understand on paper, but sequencing is everything. There is no Ancestral Recall coming to save you. There is no Brainstorm. There's no Ren and 6, no Oko, no Griselbrand. Like, whatever it is in your Vintage deck that normally comes to save you isn't happening here. You do need to protect, do the most on every turn while also sequencing in a way to bait counter magic or play around it. So that's going to be what most of the work in this league is going to look like. So let's get into it, see if I can figure it out. I'm on the play, which is where you want to be with shops. So I have a turn 1 sphere. I'm not sure if that's actually good. I guess, I mean, if I have sphere turn 1, revoker turn 2, and this might not be explosive enough, but I am going to try it. And turn 1 sphere is very good, and it is kind of the linchpin of this deck. I just worry if I'm playing against some sort of wasteland deck, then I'm not going to be able to do anything. They're mulling to 5 though, so they're either dredge or they're unlucky. We'll find out which one it is pretty soon. I'm going to lead on Pearl because if I play this land, they're going to know immediately what I'm up to. I could also lead on Spyglass if I think they're dredge. I'm actually going to do that. If I can just name Bazaar, then they're going to lose. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, they're not that. Force pitching Ponder. Right, I would prefer that that gets countered over my Sphere, so that somehow worked out okay. But it does seem like they have a... They must have been all in on this Scalding Tarn for mana. Another Golos, that's a little bit shitty. I'm going to play my Sphere, leaving up Wasteland. So now they know they're going to have to fetch a basic with that. I hope that's something they don't want to do. Okay, that's what I was worried about, them having a Wasteland of their own. At least I can force the fetch here. Like, if they went after... Like, this happened. They failed to find. And Wasteland, Falling Tarn. Oh, they just didn't activate it in response? They clicked OK? Whoops. I mean, this isn't what I want to do, but I will continue to apply pressure. There's now a clock where there wasn't a second ago. Yeah, I think they just forgot to fetch in response. That's weird. Unfortunate, but I'll take it. I really need to draw a shop. Black Lotus isn't bad, though. Also in the life gain on Inventor's Fair, so watch out, suckers. I think that leaving Lotus in play and making Golos a live cast if I draw any other mana source is better than playing a blind Revoker right now. So a mana source casts Golos, or a land specifically casts Golos, I should say. I could also just play the second sphere and hope that they never do anything. Like, there are 2 land drops away from Dak right now. I would really rather get my Golos into play before I do anything else. But am I playing like a blue deck right now when I should be playing like a prison deck? I think so. Yeah, I'm going to play like a prison deck. And hope that this is good and correct. Like, if I draw Shop or Academy, I'm going to win. If they don't cast any spells, I'm also going to win. Like, they're going to probably pay 2 mana for a Mox right now. All they really can do. Oh, wow. They just gush themselves into the Stone Age. That's real. I don't agree with that play. I don't care what's going on over there. Ancient Tomb. All right, yeah, I'm gonna just cast this first main so they don't get the idea in their head to wasteland me. I'm gonna name Black Lotus. That's the card I'm scaredest of at this point. That just tripled the clock. So now I'm feeling pretty good. They can never activate this wasteland because they're too far under the gun. Inventor's Fair has already gained more life than that Ancient Tomb cost me. So they could play like Tarmogoyf next turn, and that would be pretty shitty for me. But I'm just going to keep sphering up here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A workshop or an academy does cast Golos. change their mind, realize they didn't have as much mana as they thought they did. All right, another one of these. I can do this one for 2. It does take a turn off the clock. So they can pay 4 for Tarmogoyf right now. If they do, they are actually pretty stable. Yeah, there it is. I need to find some follow-up now, but they're not going to be able to attack for a very long time. Evoker, this will name Mox Emerald. Emerald is turned off. All right, they are back in the squeeze, just looking for mana. We're both just looking for mana right now. They dug out of that gush pretty well. Wave is 3-4. Yeah, they're not even close to winning this race. Wow, aggro wasteland. Sure. Oh, this is a legendary land, unfortunately, so not going to play that out. If I attack with everything, they take 5, and then I attack with everything the next turn, they take 3, and they're still alive. So I don't have spew attacks right now. Nope. Just slow and steady from here. It's also kind of a race to find wastelands and strip mines. Both decks play them. I think we're both going to use them if we draw them. Or they won't, I will. I think I'm pretty far enough away from casting a spell that they're going to need theirs more than I need mine. Ghost Quarter. Right, I am going to hold on to that. They probably do have a basic land, so I think this will be more useful to me as a mana source. Next turn I could spew my Inventor's Fair, like float, play the second one, play Sorcerer's Spyglass, just get a look at their hand, make sure I don't get like Dacked or Oko'd out of nowhere. They're going to clean up though. Shit up. Yeah, you're not going to need that until misstep. All right, in business, don't even need the... Just spend my fair. I can also activate fair now. Oh yeah, this is not a creature. This costs 5. Show me your secrets. Collector Oof, Leovold, Sylvan Library. None of these cards have activated abilities. I could probably name Misty Rainforest proactively. Oko costs 6 and they only have 3. Yeah, they're miles away from an Oko. Yeah, I'm just going to name Misty Rainforest. I think in a bug deck, that's the fetch land they're likely to have 4 of. And they also haven't used one yet. I chose poorly. I think I chose rightly. I was just, wrong this time. So they still can't cast Abrupt Decay. They can't cast Leovold. They can't actually cast any of the spells in their hand. Oh, they can cast Collector Oof, which will turn off my Mox Pearl. And I guess it also puts a 2/2 body into play. Sure. Another Spyglass. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would have to lose my Inventor's Fair to play the Spyglass, and this one's not even that good. I could Ghost Quarter their Black Source. I'm not super convinced that they would have a basic swamp. Though they might. Guess I'll just pass the turn. Keep holding my breath for Academy or Shop. They draw Ancestral. Oh, Brainstorm. Build 4 mana Brainstorm. Got it. They did find land number 5, so they can cast Leovold's next turn and Abrupt Decay next turn. Deck, show me something good. Ghost Quarter. Or I can activate Inventor's Fair. What does that do? Probably nothing, because everything in my deck is so expensive right now. Yeah, there's not a good Inventor's Fair. I could Ghost Quarter them off black. All right, let's test their basic lands. That does also give them a shuffle off the Brainstorm, unfortunately. Ooh, no basic lands, huh? All right, knowing that, I'm just gonna continue pinching. If that hand stays locked down, that's the best situation for me. My deck's built to play out of this, and theirs isn't. There are workshops and academies in my deck, I promise. I did remember to put them in. It's kind of boring, but I also totally see the appeal. I've been on the other side of this so many times where it's just like, oh, I just need a land. Just give me the land. And then you draw the land, and then your opponent draws Wasteland immediately to take it off. But they still can't cast any of these cards, to my knowledge. They've fetched twice, so they are at 7 now. Getting closer and closer to an Alpha Strike. I think fetching there was a huge mistake if they're not casting a spell, because what if I draw a Wasteland? Obviously I'm not going to, but what if I did? Also, that's just one less land in your deck that you can draw. Another Tarmogoyf. That's actually pretty scary. Yeah, now they can attack with the first one. I have a lot of life to work with, though. I'm not in the triple block mode yet. Right, a little bit Golos flooded here. Uh-oh, strip mine. They're going to be a better Shops deck than me in a second. Oh, yeah, I think casting Leovold. Casting Time Walk, okay. That makes sense. You get a big attack off. These are 4/5s. Naming Black Lotus. I will trade off with the oof at least. So now they get another look. That unlocks my Pearl, which could do something for me. I'll just upkeep strip mine. They don't give a shit. Like, I'm not even going to cast spells. Still in their upkeep. Still in your upkeep, opponent. They don't even care what their draw step is. They're like, I don't need it. I'm ready. I got plays to make. Places to be. These are 5/6s now. That's a serious clock. think they'll attack with one of these. Oh, they're attacking with both. So I'm gonna go to 4. That's fine. But now I go to 5. Also the void. That do. So I can attack with Phyrexian Revoker, then I have to double block. Jump block. Yeah, this has actually gone off the rails pretty hard. Just drew a lot of Goloses instead of lands that make extra mana. So I think Bug is supposed to be a tough matchup for shops in general. I had that one decision point where I could save the Black Lotus to try to get a Golos into play, or I could play my extra sphere. Right now I have to draw Academy or I just lose. And if they have Force in their hand, I just lose anyway. Yeah, it sucks these are 5/6s. If they were even 4/5s, oh wow, they're not making me attack. Cool. Yeah, if they attacked with both, I would lose both my creatures. They'd be at 3 and I'd be dead on board. So they did not do that math, or they played around something that I don't know what it is. Oh, remember that card that I mentioned. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, let's go. Do you have a Force of Will? Please don't. Oh, they're tapping mana. They do. Force pitching Daze. Okay. So I'm going to have to chump, and then second Golos. Does that even do anything? Yeah, I think this is going to be a turn too late. That Force showed up on time. This also unlocks their Mox Emerald because I'm going to have to block with my Revoker. Like they're trying to cast Abrupt Decay, but they can't. But once they attack, they can cast Leovold. If they attack with both like they're supposed to. Nope. Okay, deal. I'll keep taking these chump attacks. Right, please don't have another Force. Ojuka Bog. Alright, so the Goyfs are 5/6. Who has what in their graveyards? I think I'm going to go for the Golos first. So they can daze Golos if I don't play Inventor's Fair. I should probably figure out what's in everyone's graveyard. So they have instant, land, creature, sorcery. They have 4 in their graveyard. And then I have artifact, creature, land. So I'm providing the artifact. They're providing the instant and the sorcery. So I think I want to bog them this turn. And if they have daze, get me. They pitched a daze last turn. I know 4 of the cards in their hand and they're not daze. Okay, okay. So now I'm going to get Workshop and try to set up for next turn. I can get Tabernacle and start squeezing their resources. What does that look like? Tabernacle looks like it's probably worse for me than it is for them. Actually, because I'm going to make the Goyf smaller. Yeah, I am going to get Tabernacle, and I'm also going to bog them. So the Goyfs go from 5/6. They should be 3/4s now. All right, cool. So now Golos can actually block one and not die on the spot. And if they want to cast any spells again, they have to attack with both Goyfs if they want to remove the Revoker, but then Golos can attack for 3 on the backswing. Okay. That looks good. And then Inventor's Fair can get Crucible and squeeze out their lands moving forward. For those. Yes. Oh, I have to pick one down. And yes. All right, I think we're around the corner here. Oh, just fucking drew Crucible. That's a deal. They can't counter this because they don't have 3 mana, so they are just gonna lose here. Wasteland. It's Black Source. And they're gonna get just squeezed out slowly. Yeah, a couple turns from now, they'll have no mana left to pay for their Tarmogoyfs, and they can't cast spells if they want to keep their Goyfs. So yeah, they're in the pinch now. Goyfs are still 3/4s. I guess Wasteland of their own is the best draw for them. Could even double block a Tarmogoyf if they attack. Just go to 2, and I lose my Revoker, but it's not going to matter pretty soon. Or I just block and don't block the other one, and they're dead on the backswing. Yeah, that's obviously the better play. Okay, yeah, they don't have an attack. They have no way to put additional spells in the graveyard in instant speed because they all cost 3 and they only have 2 mana. Yeah, I think we got the hooks in here. They're doing the same math that I am right now, and once they actually do the math, I think they'll concede. I will say that if I was on the other side of this match, I would be so miserable right now. And that's what I meant when I said I don't like shops, but that's fine. It's a deck in the format. I'm not saying it shouldn't exist or anything. I actually think it's healthy for the format that it does exist. It sucks. This is so miserable. It's fun from this side though. Just threading the needle, figuring out like chugga 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 chugga. How do I turn the corner, get the they should have won this game a long time ago if they were attacking with both their Tarmogoyfs. There were 2 turns where if they attacked with both Goyfs, I lose, but they only attacked with 1. So make sure you're always doing your combat math. That pivotal turn, I did actually have to draw Bajuka Bog naturally, and then also go get the Tabernacle. So that was pretty fucked up. We'll lock it down further. Don't even need to do anything. I think, yeah, wow. I'm not sure why they haven't conceded yet, honestly. You can't cast spells, and you can't attack, and you can't really block. I'm not sure what the game is. If you attack with both, you lose. If you attack with one, I just block and nothing happens. Oh, they're going to clean up and growing their Tarmogoyfs. That's what's happening. That's pretty clever. It's going to be a turn too slow, though. It took me a second to figure out how those Goyfs got bigger. But now I have an extra chump. So that should Got it down the rest of the way. Revoker. I'll double up on Mox Emerald. I probably could have cast Karn here, but I don't think I need to. So one of these is going to die, then I can jump the other one, and then that one dies on their next turn. Like, so they need to hope to draw a land, I guess, 3 turns in a row. Even if they draw like Wasteland for Tabernacle, it doesn't matter because then I just replay Tabernacle and my parade of chumps keep this game under control. I guess they can attack and hope I forgot to block. Right now they're just backing it up. All right. Absolute misery, but we did it. Solve the puzzle on this side. So they have some artifacts, but I don't think it's enough to want a null rod. I could bring in defense grid as a way to cut off more of their outs. Though it was a close call that one turn where I went for Golos and they had the force, but they didn't have the second force. So I don't think Leyland of the Void is what I want either. The Bajuka Bog did a pretty good job checking the Tarmogoyf. So they play their own collector oofs. And like Chalice, I guess if I can get Chalice on 2, that's pretty good, but that cuts off a lot of my shit too. I assume this swamp is for decks that have Assassin's Trophy in them. So I am going to bring in this swamp. And I feel like I should cut either Null Rod or Chalice, because they play their own Null Rods. And I guess I could name one on Chalice that turns off a bunch of stuff in their deck without really touching mine at all. Yeah, this looks fine. I'll do this. There is no removal in this deck for a Collector Oof. Like, I have Walking Ballista, but turns out it counters off Walking Ballista when Oof is in play, so I just have to beat Oof on the board. Right, this is pretty strong. This Mana Crypt is a little scary, but I'm going to keep this. I can double spell on turn 1. So if they lead on Deathrite Shaman, that's kind of lame, but I can at least revoke it. So they are a Daze deck, so that's a reason to play out the Crypt. Ooh, Chalice, that's interesting. So normally I would Ancient Tomb, Phyrexian, Revoker, see how they respond to that, and then surprise Mana Crypt, Sphere of Resistance, but because they have Daze, do want to get ahead of this here. Force, Pitching Force, okay. I think Sphere is better than Chalice on 1. I could have Chalice on 0'd, but I kind of want to draw my own. I don't know. Maybe I'm supposed to Chalice on 0 there also. But Deathrite Shaman can pressure my life total meaningfully, especially with Mana Crypt involved. Snuck out a Tarmogoyf. It's the flip, bummer. I'm gonna Chalice on 1 here. My deck doesn't play any 1s. It plays a lot of 2s though. Tarmogoyf's gonna get pretty nasty. A quick Tarmogoyf is one of the best ways to beat Chops because it is just bigger than a lot of the things they're doing. The Inventor's Fair is on. That'll probably buy me about a turn over the course of the game. On the flip, easy. Another sphere. Do I want that? So I could also just sack my fair and look for Golos. I'm not sure if that's how I'm going to win this game. Like, that commits a full turn plus an Ancient Tomb activation into using my Inventor's Fair and then also just playing straight into Force of Will. If they activate their Deathrite Shaman, it shrinks their Tarmogoyf, so kind of a good spot on that. I do need something to put in front of this Goyf, though. Yeah, they realize their Deathrite is not helping by not attacking. All right, always heads. Lost the flip. Dead on board. All right, we found a savior. So how big can I make this jerk? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, I can make it bigger than Tarmogoyf. This Deathrite just got pretty scary. And if they have Force of Will, I lose. All right, yeah, they had the Force. Yeah, that's how you beat Chops. You just Force of Will. They're important spells, and then they brick off. All right, I'm on the play this time, though. Big deal. Chops. I think I want Wormcoil Engine in the deck for this matchup. Like, having it in the Karn package is nice, but this gives me two things, because Karn can get Ensnaring Bridge, and Ballista can just be a Ballista. Do I want God Pharaoh statue against Bug? Is that important? I guess getting into play early is pretty fucked up. That can be said for all the permanents in my deck. I think statue is the worst card left here. This is my deck. Let's go. I do wonder if I'm supposed to have Defense Grid in right now. Shops experts tell me. Oh, my first appearance of Mishra's Workshop. So I have a turn 1 Golos. I want it. If Golos doesn't resolve, what happens? Like, I'm planning for the worst case scenario. If Golos doesn't resolve and then they waste my shop, then I just have some revokers. I'll do 5. So is putting Golos on the stack as a Hymn to Turok something I'm interested in doing? Or do I want to just play multiple revokers? See if Crypt resolves first. I'm going to go for Golos. So at least plays around days. Wow, just resolved, sure. I think I want to get Academy. Get onto this Karn life. Like, it's either Academy or Strip Mine, depending on what type of game I think I'm going to play. Yeah, I'm going to get Academy. Like, I just want to have lots of mana for this Karn. Oh, that's pretty good. Shit. All right. Force of Vigor. That's a defensible card that I was not considering. But yeah, all right. I don't regret getting Academy at all. If they waste my shop here, then Academy looks pretty bad. Now they get to know exactly what they're up against. Yep. That went well for them. All right, so if I draw a Mox, I'm actually just totally in business. Golos is not a Mox. Quite the opposite, in fact. Alright, come on, deck. Mana. A Poker. I'm gonna name Black Lotus on this one. And I cast this other one real quick while I still have priority. This one, I could name a Mox. What Planeswalker? Like, they're pretty far away from Oko still. I'm gonna name a Mox, and I'm just sort of choosing at random between Emerald, Pearl, and Jet. I'll name Jet because that's the color they don't have yet. Just like that, I'm representing Golos next turn again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Armagoyf. 5, 6 already. We have another force. Ooh, I got the combo online. And now I can block Tarmogoyf, bounce Golos with Caracas, and just go completely bananas. I'm gonna get Strip Mine. I think squeezing them off of their mana, like getting Tabernacle right now hurts me more than it hurts them. And Inventor's Fair is back in the gain zone. I think I can take 5 at least once. I could take it 3 times, but Ancient Tomb, I gotta account for that. That's fine. Well, I'm not gonna take 5. I'm gonna block and bounce Golos if they attack, but I don't think they can attack. Disagree. I think this has to be on moat duty right now. You don't get to chump attack into Golos. So by doing that on their end step, I get this Caracas as extra mana on my turn. Like I'm not actually sure which version of that is better. So I can just strip them twice right now. Yeah, I think this will pay off the most going long. Even cast Karn just in case they have something. Are there any zeros that are worth getting? No. All right, yeah, so this turns off all their Moxen and their Black Lotus. I could even make Crucible a 3/3 if I want to, but I'm not going to. All right, so now I can chump block with my Revokers with no problem at all. And Golos can get Tabernacle next turn. Godpharaoh's Gift is in my sideboard now because I boarded it out. Or not gift, Godpharaoh statue is in the sideboard because I boarded it out. Could also get Ensnaring Bridge, just close the door. Yeah, they can't play Artifact mana, and they only get 1 land a turn, and I have Strip Mine Crucible. They're attacking Karn. Blocking is totally fine here. Because that does cost me mana off Academy, so it's not all the way free. Force of Vigor on these 2 things. All right, that's really good. So I can get the ensnaring bridge. I can ghost quarter their land and also get ensnaring bridge. They didn't have a basic last round or last game, so let's hope they don't have one now either. Very cool. They have one card in hand, so they can't Force of Will. All right, shields are back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can cast Golos next turn. This library is pretty scary because they can start paying life and load up their hand with Force plus appropriate card, whether it's Vigor or Will. Paid the max. Oh yeah, they're just digging through mana screw. They can't daze, they would have to have Force. Or 5. Okay. I considered leaving up the Caracas, but I don't think that's going to matter, because if this comes in, I'm going to get Tabernacle and just kill the Goyf. Should plus Karn at least. Plus with no targets, I think is fine. Golos can't attack. I can wish for Walking Ballista though. So I think the God Pharaoh statue is actually better. That will kill them eventually. What is in my sideboard before I start making wishes? I think I want to get Defense Grid first. And then that'll clear the way for whatever I decide to win with next turn. I guess I could bounce and recast Golos too. All right, so they Force of Negation to that. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I don't think going to 6 is worth doing for that. I think this Karn will win the game eventually. You could also just draw 3 cards, like over the next 3 turns, just draw and don't play cards. I have no spheres, which is kind of worrisome. It's pretty good. That's a brick. I do want to bounce Golos. Gonna have to pay 1 for it anyway, so might as well put it in my hand. Enjoy it. Okay, so I can Ghost Quarter both of their shit. I'm gonna grid up again. So 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Golos. Oh, I want this time. The Jukabog time. I already have an Inventor's Fair. Could just be Wasteland. Get that ready. Have Wasteland ready, and then fuck all your lands. Okay. So Karn is going to have to plus for a turn. I can actually attack with defense grid next turn. Yeah, they're dead to defense grid in 2 turns. That'll happen even before Karn can get the ballista. Missing land drops even under Sylvan Library. They can't pay life anymore. All right, so 2 cards in hand. Defense grid is a 2/2. Back. Fog you. Not sure why, but I can. 1, 2, 4, 5. I'll just get a workshop also. Make sure I can cast whatever I need to. So I think I'm in good shape here. Uh-oh. They have like a nature's claim, like lightning bolt. Thought sees me. Oh, fatal push. All right, not bad. All right, so you're not just dead anymore. Bounce Golos. Easy money. Pick that off. Waste you. 1, 2, 3. That's a lethal threat. And this doesn't even matter. I guess I'll name Deathrite Shaman. 1, 2, 4. I'll just get another shop. The Revoker is lethal next turn. So is the Walking Ballista I can get with Karn, and they can't Force of Will anymore. There probably was a faster way to win this game, but oh, that did the job. All right, chugga chugga. 48 minutes in to win match 1. This is what we signed up for. On the draw for round 2, this is not a capable hand. It doesn't do anything on turn 1. Yeah, gotta do better than that with shops. Yeah, this one's good. Keep this. I think I'm gonna send the Caracas to the bottom. Because the Golos can get the Caracas, and I don't care about Caracas unless I have Golos. This is where they turn out to be Oath, by the way. Yeah, we'll see. But turn 1 Spyglass, getting a look. All right, well, now they know all of my secrets. If they are some sort of turn 1 combo deck, they know they can just do it. They see the Ghost Quarter hook coming with the Crucible. They know exactly how my mana maps out, so if they want to set up a Wasteland line, they can. Here's this. They kept a card on top with, oh, okay, they are Oath. Wow. Good to know. I'll name Grizzlebrand. I guess that's fine, because if they cast Show and Tell, then I put in Golos and get the Caracas. Yeah, that's fine. It might actually be better for me that they didn't see the Caracas in my... So they have this force and just didn't even cast it. I guess the Spyglass is not what they were looking for. They'll probably force the Crucible. Bottomed. That card was not in their hand. Time I saw it. So if I want to activate Ghost Quarter, then I need to play the Mox Pearl, though I can double spell if I go with Revoker. I'll name Black Lotus or Oko. I'm gonna name Oko Thief of Crowns. I'll also get this Crucible. All right, so now I'm actually exposed to just a raw Oath of Druids. Drop. Walk. Okay. I don't mind that time walk too much. I'm glad they didn't set up show and tell time walk for 2 turns from now. That actually would have been really bad for me. Taking them off red for a braid makes some sense in my brain. I expect them to have a basic island, probably like exactly one. I'm not going to cast Golos into their Force of Will. Golos is the only thing keeping me alive to their show and tell. Start taking them off colors. If they have more than one basic, it won't be a swamp. Sphere is going to be really good. They might just have to force it. Yeah, force pitching Daze. So I could go for the Golos here. No, I'm just going to keep pinching them. If they have a second force and I end up losing to show and tell, I'll feel really bad about that. And I'm winning on board, so why go nuts? All right, yeah, let's just play that same turn again. Maybe I should be taking them off green in case they draw Oath. All right, yeah, that seems like a missed opportunity. Should probably be doing that. If they draw Oath, like right now, I could be in trouble. But they didn't draw Oath. Problem solved. Crucible is such a fucking monster. All right, that was a quick one. Let's do some more of those. Don't need any more 30-minute games. Trying to make content here. All right, so the cages come in. I don't think I want Ensnaring Bridge in the deck. Leyline of the Void, I wish I knew more about their build. As some Oath decks are Breach decks, some are just put Grizzlebrand into play decks. I feel like I'm gonna have to plan for a game where they get Grizzlebrand into play though. So do I bring in the Ensnaring Bridge? Because the Inventor's Fair can get Ensnaring Bridge, so which means that Golos can roundabout get Ensnaring Bridge versus just having Karn as the only way to get Ensnaring Bridge. I think I do want it in. What's less important here? Probably Null Rod can come out. On the draw, I think Trinisphere is not going to do what I want it to. Cutting Trinisphere, just an egregious sin. Shops players let me know, but it just seems on the draw against a matchup that only wants to resolve one card. It doesn't really seem like what I want. Like if I'm going to resolve a 3-mana spell, I'd prefer it be Ensnaring Bridge. Godfarer's Statue seems medium again. Like if Trinisphere is not good, then Godfarer's Statue definitely isn't. But Statue is still in the sideboard that I can wish for with Karn if I need to beat a Grizzlebrand at some point. Between my Revokers and Spyglasses, there are 7 of that effect to turn off Grizzlebrand, so it is, like, quote-unquote, just a 7/7. I'll try this. This is a pretty explosive hand. I can get them into a Crucible pinch on turn 2. Revoker's kind of dangerous, because if I play it into Oath, then they get to Oath. If I don't, oh, right, yeah, so I'm gonna workshop cast Sphere, or do, no, I think I have to Mana Crypt first. Right, how do I sequence this? I think I want to Revoker first, make them pop the Lotus. If they have Force of Negation, I'm gonna get completely wrecked here. But if they don't, I'm probably gonna. That was pretty good. Race is on. Lost the flip. I think I want to. I've seen days out of them, so I'm gonna play Crucible. Start getting them in the pinch. And Golos should be able to race the Mana Crypt once they have no other options over there. I don't want Golos to get forced, so I feel like they would have forced something by now if they had one. Yeah, and they're just dead. Quick little explosive shops hand. That's why you play shops. Sometimes you have a 50-minute match, sometimes you have a 5-minute match. Next round. I'm on the draw in round 3, unfortunately, because I have turn 1 Trinisphere, but I'm still going to keep it because I have turn 1 Trinisphere. Like, they're going to have to answer my 3-ball and then answer Thorn plus Sphere on the following turn. So if they get super far ahead of me here, that might just be doable for them. All right, yeah, Renin 6 is kind of a beating against Trinisphere, especially on the draw here. Mox Jet. Okay, so what does Jet do for me? I can go Thorn plus Sphere. No? I'm really worried about Wasteland. Them having turn 1 Renin 6 is just fucked up my whole life. Like, if they get Wasteland recurring and I'm under my own Trinisphere, I lose. Like, the game just ends. I'm gonna go for a Thorn. And if they force this, I'll go Mox Sphere. If they don't force it, I'll just play my Mox. Had to kind of slow it down a little bit here. I'm mitigating if they have Wasteland, like how I'm gonna beat my own Sphere effects. I don't have any of my 7 Pithing Needle effects in my hand right now. Could have Dak or Oko or any number of horrific thing I can't beat right now. Damn it. Yeah, okay, literally just being on the draw cost me this game. I would have had turn 1 3-ball and they would have done nothing on the play. But now I'm gonna lose instead. Guess I'll jam this Golos though, see if it works. Probably get Caracas so I can keep Golosing. I don't think I want to get Chop. They don't have a card in their graveyard that I care about for Bojuka Bog. Yeah, I think I just got Caracas. That mitigates the DAC also. This is super scary though. This sucks like a lot. But having a creature in play that can pressure these planeswalkers is pretty important. There are not a whole lot of main deck ways to kill Golos. Like they can Elk him, that's fine. I still get to kill Dak. But they can also Lightning Bolt. Do I need to kill Dak? What is the priority here? Yeah, I think I will go after Dak, which is the one I can actually kill right now. So if I go Trinisphere, then bounce Golos, replay Golos. That's actually pretty good. Oh wait, that costs more. JK, that's not an option. Can I get second sphere into play? If I sphere, bounce, yeah, I'm still 1 mana short of replaying Golos. Maybe I don't need to replay Golos. But Crucible doesn't do anything. Playing straight into Force of Will if I... But they get to Emblem if I don't. One, two, three, four. Okay, so they did have a Force. I'm glad that I did not go for the Golos unprotected. So they can elk their one of their Moxen and trade with the Golos, which leaves Ren ready to emblem. Though they don't really have many good spells in their graveyard right now. Yeah, I'm gonna attack Ren on my turn. At least buy a few turns off of this emblem. Hope they don't find a Tarmogoyf. Bottomed. That's good news. Attack Ren, see what happens. They have the lightning bolt. They do, in fact, have the lightning bolt. So Ren is going to get to emblem if they want to emblem. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana is what I have. This costs 4. And okay, so I can 3-ball plus Golos this turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm just doing this math 100 times to make sure I don't fuck it up. Yes, so I can Trinisphere and then Golos again. Punity, because Thorn of Amethyst does not affect Golos, neither does Trinisphere. Probably just want to get... Oh, I want to get Bojuka Bog. If they're gonna emblem up. Let's just mess with that graveyard a bit. So they can't really, like they can trade for Golos with Oko if they want, but the Caracas is doing a really good job. And I have Crucible, so they found their wasteland. Luckily at this point I'm above that. Inventor's Fair, pretty good. Getting Serpent, Stone Coil Serpent's gonna be great. Not sure about that play. Unless they can exile, oh, they can steal my Crucible. Okay, they steal my Crucible, they waste me, and I'm fucked. Okay, that was pretty good. So now what's the play? Oh fuck, I shouldn't have played that land. I was thinking and just idly clicked, but okay, I think I need it actually. So activate Inventor's Fair, search for Crucible, cast Crucible Caracas, bounce my Golos back. That's the line here. Ooh, scared myself. Basically just have to hope they don't have another Force of Will, which they probably do. Did they forget to activate their Wrenn and 6 last turn? Oh, that was not the play. I think they needed to just sit that wasteland in play and go after my shop. I'm gonna get Crucible. All right, some mistakes have been made. I'm still pretty far behind, but that was not great. So they've seen my hand. They mostly already knew my hand. They knew the important part. Yeah, they're frantically digging for a Force of Will right now. Oh, did you find it? It's gonna be GG or BG, depending on if they found the Force here. I don't think they would have brainstormed if they found Force, but that doesn't really mean anything. Ooh, okay, so does that actually help? I can Ghost Quarter, but I don't think that matters. Yeah, even if they don't have a basic land, I can't sphere enough to keep them out from under. That resolved very quickly. All right, cool. Not even bluffing counterspells at this point. That. So I can kill Oko, take Wrenn off of ultimate, or kill Dak. This is actually tough. Their hand clearly sucks. I'm gonna attack Dak. I think that's the one that represents the most fear for me right now. Yeah, if they stole my second Crucible, that would be shitty. I mean, they can elk my Crucible too. Just about out. I am out of Crucibles. Okay, they emblemed. I would prefer an emblem over a wasteland at this point. I can Ghost Quarter my own Bajuka Bog and bog them to control their graveyard. Let's hope they don't string 3-time walks together here. This is a weird game. I feel like I should have lost it by now. Maybe I have lost it already, and I just can't tell yet, but this feels closer than it should. They're giving me another 3/3 in exchange for the ability to cast more than one spell in a turn. That probably makes sense. Being their strip mine. If I still have Crucible on my turn, I'm definitely going to bog them. I'm going to attack first and see what happens. Attack Ren and attack Oko. Guess I didn't need to attack Ren. Or Ren regrows spells, so that actually wasn't that bad. Don't play a basic. Get your graveyard out of here. I can do that every other turn. They force this, they'll be hellbent. Still have the Caracas. Happening. Why am I turning the corner here? Pretty sure this shouldn't have happened. But they still have Crucible, which means that going on a Wasteland denial plan doesn't make a lot of sense. I think I want to get Academy and just have zillions of mana. I could cast Karn right now, actually. Or, no, I can't. Yes, I can. I can exactly cast Karn right now. It will cost me my Caracas activation, but I don't think that matters. Yeah, they have so many artifacts over there. Ancestral in response. I mean, that was a pretty good one to find. I'll destroy. I guess it doesn't matter what I destroy because they're all dead anyway. I'll take the one that's mine, just on principle, because they can become elks if I don't destroy them. They can cast a lot of ancestral recalls. Yeah, so they can elk my sphere and then ancestral probably 5 times, because assuming each one draws a land, they can just keep going. I wonder if that's actually good enough at this point. Seems silly to say that casting 5 ancestral recalls doesn't seem good enough, but it could happen. But I won the flip, so I'm not going to get bolted out right now. Ghost Quarter or Inventor's Fair. Probably Inventor's Fair. At Inventor's Fair, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If I animate Crucible, I get another one. What's in my sideboard I can get? I can get Walking Ballista after the smoke clears. I think just animating is probably better though. I'm just going to attack their face with everything. Attack opponent with all creatures. So they could string some lightning bolts together. and then die anyway because I have 4 attackers. Wow, interesting. I definitely feel like I shouldn't have won that game, but I'll take it. Some cool lines came up in that one, definitely. Okay, Leyland of the Void is fine against them with the Rens and the recursion, all the chaining together Ancestral Recall that they try to do. They probably have Dreadhorde Arcanist in their deck. I feel like I want... So Leyline is uncastable later. That feels dangerous to me. I think I want Defense Grid. So they're probably gonna try to pivot onto... They're gonna bring in a bunch of Shattering Sprees and stuff. So I want all my spheres, definitely. Then don't think I'm super big on Null Rod here. Godfarer's Statue, I can wish for that later. Chalice on 1's actually really good against them. So is Chalice on 3. Bojuka Bog was insane. Like, that card really did work. And what other cards are not so good? I'm pretty sure Grafdigger's Cage stops Mystic Forge. Players can't cast spells from graveyards or libraries. You may cast artifact and spells from your library. Yes, that is a non-bow. Just taking note of that, whether I think it's a deal breaker or not. And I don't, by the way. Maybe I just don't want the defense grids. I'll use the spheres for that. And Grafdigger's Cage, it is. Yeah, I just don't know what I would be cutting to bring in something like Leyline. This is a great matchup for Stonecoil Serpent because it's usually bigger than Lightning Bolt, and it also can't be Okoed or Dacked. So this hand is exploding with mana and Strip Mines. If they have another turn 1 Ren and 6, this hand is Garbo. But if they don't... Alright, I'm going to keep this. Right, they mulled to 6. So if they keep like a reasonable hand with like a Force of Will and a threat, the Parade of Strip Mines can destroy them. If they have another turn 1 Ren and 6, my hand is complete shit. But I can revoke Ren and 6, which is not something I was able to do at any point last game. Uh-oh, now they know what I'm doing. This is a moto photo, like a you kept that moto photo. This is not really that bad, but they do know that what they're up against. Like if they can go fetch land pass instead of like Volcanic Island preordain. Okay, that's insane. That's a great draw. They just saw my hand. They don't know about that yet. I'm going to revoke Ren and 6. Then also sphere them. Bam. Alright, so they can waste me off that. Play my Ghost Quarter, attack for 1, or attack for 2 even. Guess I should play the Strip Mine. I'm not going to play the Wasteland because they don't know about that one. Or I'm going to play Ghost Quarter because they know about the Strip Mine. Like I will eventually kill this land with the parade of land removal I have in my hand. They play 1 basic, if any, and they can't dance around this forever. Right, so they have some 1 mana spell they want to cast here. Yeah, they didn't fetch red, so and Sphere of Resistance stops Shattering Spree from getting 2 things anyway. This long pause on the fetch makes me wonder if they forgot about Sphere or forgot about... Okay, yeah, they forgot about one of these 2 effects or didn't consider them when they started making their line. I think they were just going to expose themselves with the Wasteland and figure they could beat it with Ren and 6, but all right. Wow, 3-0. On to the next one. On the play in round 4, I'm going to keep this. I have a turn 1 Sphere. Yeah, turn 1 Sphere. I don't have a turn 2 Sphere because my mana sources don't come into play untapped, and this one isn't even a mana source. But turn 1 Sphere, turn 2 1/1 Stonecoil Serpent plus Bojuka Bog, then another Sphere the turn after that. Not the worst. Opponent's on 5. Hope they're dredge. I just have this Bojuka Bog, all natural style. Not sure how helpful that actually is. I can also play Stonecoil Serpent for 0 and just die and kill their bridges. That's another thing we haven't seen come up yet. So my last opponent who mulled to 5 and I played like their dredge. They cast Force of Will and turned out they were Oath. Sphere of Resistance. Is it him to Turok or is it GG? All right, we'll see what they want to do about this. Probably play out some Moxen. Gataxian Probe, wow. Build 2 life and mana, Gataxian Probe. Untap mana. Oh my god. That's disgusting. Oh. 1, 2, 3. How do I get the most out of this turn? I think I want to cast a gigantic Stonecoil Serpent right now, and then I can follow up with the additional prison after that. Because they can't force right now, and the turn 1 Gataxian Probe looks pretty desperate to me. So I'm gonna do this. There wasn't a way to double spell there. I mean, I could have made a smaller serpent. I could have made a 1/1 serpent and played the second sphere, but I hope this will pay off better than that. Oh, the race is on. Nice mana crypt. Sensei stop. All right. Yeah, they look like some sort of PO deck. I could get tinkered here. So the emerald pays for itself. And then I have 5 more mana. I can revoke their mana crypt, or I can play sphere, but not both. I think revoking mana crypt is better. They're gonna top in response, but top is not my target for this. If this is PO, it's a little bit scary because PO was the blue deck that could finally beat Shops after years of Shops dominance over blue. Good thing I won the die roll though. I name Mana Crypt. I'm gonna bog them, and that doesn't matter now, but it's the missing mana for next turn. They're on a 3-turn clock to my creatures, but if they lose their crypt flip on any one of those 3 turns, it becomes a 2-turn clock. Can't tinker this turn unless they have Academy. I got to play the other sphere this next turn. But even if they do tinker, the decks usually don't have Blightsteel in the main. They usually have that in the sideboard and just Citadel in the main, and Citadel also sucks against Sphere. And their life total is pretty low already. The preordained went bottom, bottom, and then they did not make a land drop. I guess I should play Lotus first, or it costs more mana than that. Not going to make my land drop, obviously. All right, they lost their flip. Now they're dead on board. They have to win right now. And they can't do it. Okay. Classic prisoning out a combo deck. So I feel like this is a Null Rod matchup for sure. So here's Null Rod. And I'm starting to wonder what defense grid is even for. Like I assume there's a good reason or like a play pattern that I'm just missing where defense grid is important, but like I didn't bring it in against Xerox. I'm not bringing it in now against PO. Maybe it's a play draw thing against counterspell decks. I don't know. I guess it did come up pretty clutch where when the Karn could spend time wishing for defense grid in that one match to try to lock things out, make sure everything worked. But yeah, so it's not coming in the deck though. So the null rods are all in. A Crucible's pretty nice. Like, do I cut artifact mana because I now have 4 null rods? But then how do I cast the null rods? So not sure if that's the way forward. Golos seems important to win the game. Maybe I'll shave a Crucible. And Stone Coil Serpent isn't super important in this matchup, I guess. Like, it's one of the ways I have to win the game, but how important is winning the game, really? I'd rather not lose the game. Spyglass. Can name Planeswalkers or Sensei's Top. Maybe I don't need 3 Spyglass against a deck like this. Okay, I'm going to try this. This might be a mess, but find out. If they show me more information, I can make better choices for game 3. My goodness, I have Chalice on 0, Null Rod, and Academy in this. If I get a turn 1, this is going to be very good. I don't think this hand is remotely beatable on the play, so they're lucky that I'm on the draw. Like, so I go Mox, Revoker, Chalice on 0, Null Rod. I just play my whole hand. So Chalice on 0 is a lot worse on the draw, but if they are paradoxical outcome, they're going to want to cast zeros at some point regardless. Let's find out. They did go to 6. Mana Crypt is a strong start. Could just tinker me. God. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Pearl. Jet. Poker. So they're going to have to Force of Will 3 different cards this turn with only 4 cards in their hand. I'm going to name Soul Ring with this because that's the one they can pick up and replay. If I get my Chalice in 0 and play, this Crypt is stuck in play though. Well, that hesitation, that was them knowing that I have more. Wop, 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 wop. Okay, so you have no mana. You're dying to your Mana Crypt. I need to find a win con, or I can just wait till the Crypt kills them. So I would prefer to find a win condition. I can't play this Mox because I have my Chalice. It also doesn't do anything because of Null Rod. Alright, they're right on expectation right now. Just won a flip, lost a flip. Okay, now I get to see what I'm up against, and I can name Polluted Delta if they give me the chance. And if they fetch, I can waste. If they fetch a basic, I'm slow rolling this Ghost Quarter. This seems pretty good all around. Yikes. Bergie, and Byforce. Backside of Bergie is Harnfell, Horn of Bounty. So I guess I'll name Harnfell. One L, Harnfell, Horn of Bounty. Outcome usually plays more than one basic, but I'm gonna make my move just in case. They did have more than one. Okay. If they ever find red for this Byforce, I could be in trouble. They would need to find 2 more mana sources and one of them be red before I waste the red source. Win condition. This one will name, I don't even, Narset, Parter of Veils. Because every artifact is off. I'm just trying to think of what permanents with activated abilities might still be in their deck. So now Mana Crypt doesn't have to do all the work by itself. They are now above expectation. They've won 3 out of 4 flips. They owe me a couple 3 damage upkeeps. I deserve it. I worked hard for this. Kept a hand that comes into play on turn 1. Ooh, they did top a card. Yikes. That's a chunker. I don't think this deck plays Daze. I hope it doesn't, because I'm going all in. If they can force this, those are the 2 cards I didn't know about. Wow, Force Pitching Tinker, deal. All right, so their hand is back to being 2 Bergies and a Byforce. All right, lost the flip. Score is 3-2. This sphere is going to be really good. Should probably just about lock it up. All right, you owe me a flip. All right, yep, they're back on expectation. 3-3. They're dead to their next lost crypt flip. And if they don't, oh, I guess they can destroy Revoker right now. But I think that's not going to work. Like maybe they need to destroy Null Rod and then hope to win their crypt flip. And then, yeah, I think, oh, but they have to fetch Volcanic Island to do that. Yeah, they're fucked. All right, here we go. Uh-oh, they're alive at 1. Ooh, they did find the land. So now they can Byforce, Revoker, and Null Rod. Or they could just play Bergie as a blocker. Or they can destroy Mana Crypt and Null Rod. So they're destroying, oh, I had a sphere. That costs more. All right, yeah, they're just buried under their own crypt right now. And I still have Wasteland. I'm going to waste their red source, but I'm going to see what I draw first. Flat. All right. If mathematics holds up, they should die right now. All right, they're dead. Lost the flip. Okay, a perfect 4 wins, 4 losses on the Mana Crypt. So everything is fair and equal in the world. Playing for the trophy. Let's go get it. On the play in the trophy round, I'm going to keep this. I have a turn 1 sphere into a turn 2 follow-up Revoker. It's good to me. Alright, they didn't force my sphere. Either they are not a force of will deck, or they're in trouble, or I'm in trouble. Okay, good. They didn't ghost quarter me immediately. Appears to be a Shops mirror, though. Alright, so I'm gonna play my Revoker and name Mox Ruby. Yeah, getting ahead of this ghost quarter is pretty important. Once I get my Crucible in, I'll be okay. Okay, I just hope that they are getting constricted more than me. Alright, yeah, this definitely looks like a Golos mirror. Okay, good. At no point did they realize, or maybe they just couldn't play around how screwed I was to getting my tomb ordered. But now I can start stripping them. I can destroy 3 of their lands next turn, so they need to play something that gets them out of this turn. That's not it. Okay. Bad news for So I have these Goloses waiting, but for now they're stuck under Sphere with Strip Mine. X is but X is 3. I'm not going to attack my Revoker in and unlock their mana. Mana denial is what I've got here. I think play draw was the decider in this game. Like looking at their hand, if they could have gotten this Mox and Soul Ring out before my Sphere showed up. 4 mana, so they can play a 3-drop. Okay, that looks familiar. So I could go bigger, but I think stripping them is more important. Make sure they never end up ahead of me. I can play another, or I could attack for 3 and then play a 3. Thinking about it. Tough call. Yep, deal. Yeah, I think stripping them is more important than having a slightly bigger serpent. Uh-oh. Play another 3-drop this turn. Very cool. As long as they don't find Crucible, I'm not mad at them. This isn't going to slow me down. Now I get to attack. They also get to attack, but that's okay. 3, 4, 5. Now they have 5 mana available. They need a land to Golos. Lodestone Golem. Okay, that doesn't really change anything. Should get your 1 there. I'm definitely not blocking. 2, 3, 4, 6. This baby. I think I want to get. Or are they just conceding? All right, yep, scooped it up to the Golos. I think I was going to get. It was either Academy or Inventor's Fair there, and I think I was leaning towards Inventor's Fair. Because the next Golos I was going to get Caracas with. All right, so the Shops Mirror, you say? Wormcoil Engine is good in the Shops Mirror. They are a Ghost Quarter deck, so I'll bring in my Swamp. Definitely not the place for defense grid. Don't want Null Rod. Do I want Leyline of the Void? The Chalice lock is a big part of, or Chalice, the Crucible lock is a big part of this matchup. I think Godfair's statue is going to be where I want to be. Horn of Amethyst. I mean, on the draw, do I even want spheres? So if I cut all of these, if I bring in ley lines, but do I mulligan for ley line? And it's a huge brick if I draw it. I have Black Lotus to cast it, and that's it. I guess Bajuka Bog plus Moxjet also cast it. So and I'm bringing in my Swamp. So there are ways I can get this card into play if necessary. I don't think I want my Trinisphere either. I'm cutting a lot of cards without bringing in a lot. Ballista can come in, and do I want Ensnaring Bridge? Do I bring a Null Rod back? Like, I think I'm just out of things to cut. Maybe I bring Godpharaoh statue back over the Null Rod. Null Rod's pretty hard to control is the problem, and we have all the same cards in our decks. Okay, this is definitely one where if you're a Shops player, tell me how I'm supposed to sideboard, because to me this feels like we're just throwing hammers at each other and hoping something sticks. That's a pretty good one. All right, I am going to keep this. Karn has to be one of the best cards, and this is a little slow. If they have their own Chalice, my Pearl is bad. Like, this hand just crumbles if they have Chalice on 0, but it does play pretty well through a Sphere. They're mulling to 5. I wonder if that's because they understand the matchup better than me, and like there are certain explosive hands that you need to find to beat the mirror, or if they just haven't had a playable hand. I'll never really know. They had a workshop and Nullrod. Okay. There's Nullrod. Pretty sure I just strip mine this. They mulled to 5. Gonna beat them up for it. So I'm gonna play my Pearl and my Chalice on 0. And what that does for me is it makes my Academy better if I find it, and it makes it so their Academy never pays off with their zeros. Oh, see you later. Whoops. Kuka Bog. I think I want to play. I want to save my Bog for when I can actually deny them something. So I'll play Ghost Quarter. If they Ghost Quarter me, I actually do have a basic in my deck right now. And I don't know if they do. I don't know if every list plays that. Like, I don't actually know anything. So do I want to... I think they are stuck under their own Null Rod over there. All right, I'm going to play Caracas and Spyglass. Golos, Null Rod, and another Academy. All right, so running out the Chalice, like I said, is actually controlling their Academy right now. I could name Wasteland. Golos doesn't matter. I kind of want them to Ghost Quarter me. What do I even name here? I'm trying to think of what's left in the deck. I guess I can just look at my own deck list. Karn the Great Creator, Mystic Forge. They're really all the activated abilities left in the decks. Like I'm so far ahead with everything. I guess I'll just name the land. I think if I get to develop my mana right now, I'm gonna do okay. And I have Strip Mine and Ghost Quarter active, and so that naming Wasteland takes a bunch of cards out of there. Like, notice that I boarded out all my Null Rods, and they've played 2 of them. Yeah, I went to 0, and they went up to 4, and they're not doing anything while I'm continuing to cast spells right now. So the Academy and the Null Rod are here. Yeah, I think it's time for Crucible. And then they're dead to the Strip Mine next turn. Like, they need to get out of this right now. That's a good start. Yeah, drawing Workshop. I think that was, they had 3 Workshops left in the deck. That was their 3 outer to not die on the spot. Okay, Bogging Me is solid. They Ghost Quartered me in response to take out all of my graveyard hate. Uh-oh. Wow, that was a great draw, and they played it well enough to dance around all of this shit. So I am not going to Caracas their Golos. I don't want them to get more triggers out of it. I'd rather just take damage. I get to play Karn though, and that can lock things down over time. Oh my god. Okay, a second Golos. It's not that bad. They can get their Strip Mine, or did they get Inventor's Fair here? Or maybe they get their Caracas. Okay, nope, not interested in that. Revoker. Okay. Are they going to name Karn in the blind? That would be a pretty good name. Top deck Mishra's Workshop from dead on board to far ahead. They named Abandoned Reason. Okay. Thing you can name, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I bounce Golos, they get to search for another land, but it's 3 damage I don't take that turn. I actually think this is something I want to do. Like, protecting Karn is going to be more important overall. There's Karn. And I can attack with Crucible of Worlds, or I can block with Crucible of Worlds. Both seem like pretty okay. Yeah, I think having Karn in play is going to be more important than attacking for 3. Yeah, now my Strip Mine's been exiled, and one of my Ghost Quarters, and I have this on Wasteland, so I'm actually kind of screwed to my own Spyglass right now. So I probably get Snaring Bridge. That's the only one that has unique text here. One, two, three, four. Okay, they can actually activate Venter's Fair. Okay, that was a good find. So I can hit their Academy. Does that do anything? So if I get Snaring Bridge, Maybe I don't want to be stripping or attacking anything. Maybe I just want to be making my land drops and getting God Pharaoh statue into play. Yeah, I'm gonna get Ensnaring Bridge, Ghost Quarter, Bridge. Name's non-land cards, right? Yep. All right. Should check my deck. They can't activate Walking Ballista anyway, so I guess I'll just name Golos. They can't activate artifacts, and that's basically everything in the deck. I don't want to turn off Karn. Guess it literally doesn't matter. Yeah, whatever. Maybe I should name Abandoned Reason as well. I mean, mine is just trading off with theirs anyway. Now I don't need to bounce Golos anymore. Need to draw one of my own. They search for their Crucible. Yep. So now we're just going to be madly trading graveyard resources. What did they draw? Oh, they're activating Fair immediately. Okay. Oh, they get to Fair every turn now. That's pretty fucked up. But I can quarter my Bog and Bog them if I'm worried about their graveyard. I can also just cast Leyline of the Void. Right, so Karn is sleepy now. But it's time to cast a Leyline. If they strip mine my Bog, I won't be able to do that, but who gives a shit. This named Karn. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'm going to trade off with that all day, every day. They stripped that off of me. I think I should have done that differently. Yeah, so now they get one more use out of each of these things. So they do have 2 Fairs in the graveyard. This is kind of, like, I'm not sure how scared I should be right now. Like, I feel like I'm solid, but them getting to Demonic Tutor twice or 4 times, they've done it twice already, and now this one's on the stack and there's another one coming, is kind of scary. But I'm trying to figure out what can get out from under this Karn plus Bridge, because there's not much. I guess they could get their God Pharaoh statue and start bleeding me out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I find 1 mana source, I get to do that, and I can strip their academy or quarter their academy and their shop this turn, and those are gone forever. Yeah, I actually feel like I'm pretty far ahead here. If they have something insane that can get them out of it, they're going to get it right now with this Inventor's Fair. And I definitely should have last turn played Fair from my graveyard, used Fair to cast Leyline and quartered their academy. Like, that was a miss sequence that I made. I'm not convinced it's gonna punish me as hard as it should. And I think if there was an easy answer here, they wouldn't be taking this long on their Inventor's Fair. Now we wait and just see what gets delivered. Right, they did get their statue, but I don't think they're going to be able to cast it. They've already made their land drop. I have Ghost Quarter in play to hit the academy, replay it with Crucible to get the shop. Yeah, doesn't look good for them. Right, that's gone forever. Let's see if they have the swamp. They do. That's gone forever. And I do have to play this into my chalice just so Golos can't attack. I could also bounce Golos. I don't think they're going to be able to replay it. So the sideboard choice I was thinking about, like Null Rod versus Leyline, they have 2 Null Rods in play that barely matter. I have a Leyline in play that's choking them out of options for the rest of the game. And that's the game we're playing right now. So I think playing Ghost Quarter out of the graveyard is still better than playing the Wasteland from my hand. Like I can bounce Golos now. I don't think they're gonna replay it. I could also just cast this Mox. It doesn't matter. All right, I'm gonna do that. I'm still not gonna bounce Golos, not for another turn, because if they top deck another Workshop, they can just cast Golos again. Don't think that matters. Double up on Karn. Yeah, fine. Gaining tons of life here. Oh, now I have a threat. Yeah, this is just going through the motions at this point. Now I have a 4/4. Unbeatable. Oh, we got the GG. Trophy with Golos Shops. All right, so I can see how this would be appealing to certain players. It was actually a lot of fun puzzling through the lines and figuring out how to prison people out. Some of the games were jokes where I just like cast a sphere, I cast another sphere, and then the game was over. And some of them actually did require some sequencing and some clever decision making over multiple turns. So this was actually a lot of fun. I do like this quite a bit. I don't know if I would play it in a serious tournament, but just because it's not my style, not because I think it's bad, but definitely a lot of fun. Glad I did this. Thanks for watching. Make sure to tell me in the comments how to improve the sideboarding for the mirror and stuff. But thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time.